Namaskar. I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive session. You are watching us on PME Vidya, channel number 8 and also on our YouTube handle NCERT Official. Well, first of all, I would like to wish everybody out there a happiest 2026. And in 2026, I wish that all your dreams convert into reality. You think I'm talking of some kind of magic? Yes, I am, but why? I will tell you the reason in a short while. Well, it's simply because the chapter that we are going to learn today is all about magic. Yes, we are going to take up the chapter for class 8 students. Subject is English and the title is The Magic Brush of Dreams. So what kind of magic are we talking here? If you want to know more about it, if you have some questions and if you really want to participate, please feel free to get in touch with us. Our phone number is 8800440559. Our email ID is tth.class8@cit.nic.in. And on our YouTube handle NCERT Official as well, you can send us your questions, suggestions and your feedback. You can tell us about those magical dreams as well. And for this session, we are joined by our experts. So let's welcome her. We have with us Ms. Swati Verma. Ma'am is a teacher to English from Sarvodaya Vidyalaya, Sector 7, Rohini. Ma'am, namaskar and very warm welcome to the session.
Namaskar, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And welcome to 2026.
Thank you so much.
And
Happy New Year.
For this session, we both are accompanied by our Indian Sign Language interpreter, Ms. Ambu Sakshi as well. Ambu, we welcome you to the session as well. So tell me about this magic brush. Are you telling me, are you kidding me that I can convert my dreams into reality using some kind of magic brush?
Let's be hopeful.
Okay.
You never know. It's 2026, maybe.
Yes, anything can happen. Great.
Yes.
So how is it going to happen?
Yes, so I see your excitement regarding this magical world, this magic brush of dreams. But before I take you to this poem and we actually get to know about what is it all about, I have some questions for you.
Sure.
Okay, so first of all, tell me like any object which you wish to have, any magical object.
Any magical object?
Yes.
Crystal ball where I can see my future.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Crystal ball. So, okay. So, imagine I have given you that crystal ball.
Wow! I'm sure it's there in my bag. I'll check it after the session.
Yes, you can check. And suppose in addition, I've also given you one magic brush. So, tell me what would you like to draw for yourself?
Anything I can draw.
Yes, you can draw anything.
Maybe gold coins. It's getting very expensive
great.
these days.
So, you will be drawing gold
Gold
coins for
coins,
yourself.
yes.
Okay. But would you like to draw for someone else as well?
Well, if I have these magical powers, certainly I would like to help all those who are in need of something.
Wow, that's so kind of you. So, you would like to draw for someone else
Yes.
as well. So, students, you also tell us if you get this opportunity, what would you do with that magic brush? Would you draw for yourself only or you would be drawing for your friends and family as well or somebody who actually needs?
Yes,
So, with this,
absolutely.
I take you to what happens with Gopi when she had that magic brush.
All
okay?
right. So
Yes.
let's see what happens to her and you can comment us what would you like to draw using that magic brush.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I take you to the Gopi's world and here we begin. So, immerse yourself in the world of magic, in the magic brush of dreams. Go and gather wild beans, Gopi. Go and fetch some rice. Go and pluck the mangoes and bring home something nice. Gopi sits beneath the banyan. A twig is in her hand. She sits there drawing pictures in the sand. The winds blow by and sweeps away the pictures in the sand, but on a stone there sits a man, a brush is in his hand. He looks around and calls to Gopi. Come here, he whispers, hush. We must not let the village know about this magic brush. He slips the brush into her hand and tells her to be sure, paint not for the wealthy ones, but only for the poor. Did you gather wild beans, Gopi? Did you fetch some rice? Did you pluck the mango and bring home something nice? No beans, no rice, no mangoes. Gopi grins and runs inside. She paints a bowl of khichdi and waits until the paint has dried. The bowl is full of khichdi, Gopi. Into the house the villagers streamed. The young and old all wished to see the magic brush of dreams. She paints a muffler for a farmer, a plough for another man, a shawl for grandmother, and for a girl a fan. And soon the news spread far and wide through forest, fields and plains, until the Zamidar himself hears of these magic gains. I order you to paint for me a fortress tall and grand. Paint treasures, jewels and riches rare, enough to rule this land. Gopi bows and shakes her head. My lord, I can't comply. I swore to use this magic brush to help the needy by. The Zamidar roars and stamps his foot. He bellows to his men. Seize the brush and seize the girl. Throw her in the pen. Now Gopi waits inside the cell upon a cold mud floor until the Zamidar returns and shouts through the door. He holds the brush. He thunders loud. Paint my fortress tall. Paint gold and rubies, emeralds bright, and you shall leave this hall. That night, the Zamidar lies in bed, dreaming of his gold, while Gopi paints a winding road, a horse both strong and bold. The road leads out of prison gates, the horse she swiftly urges. Gopi leaps on and gallops fast through fields and many villages. It's Gopi, she's back again, say the villagers merry and kind. But Gopi keeps on painting still, with the Zamidar's men following behind. She paints a mighty river, its current fast and deep. The Zamidar and all his men stop short and cannot leap. Now should I paint a beast to leap and chase you through? Stop this chase or it will feast on you and you and you. The Zamidar cries, no, no, no more. I will leave, I will go away. He turns and flees, his men behind dare not choose to stay. Now Gopi paints for village folk a feast of sweets and tea, a courtyard bride, a band to play, and songs of victory. So, this was the poem adapted from a folk tale. It was about Gopi's journey of having a magical brush. And when she got the magic brush, what did she do with it? You have listened to this poem carefully. So, you see, you have noticed the students that it was actually a story. It's a form of a narrative and a ballad, that a story is told to you in form of verse. Yeah. So, this is the beauty of this poem. I hope you appreciate it and have immersed yourself. Now, I will explain the poem to you. So
and
that,
I think, ma'am, the real beauty lies in reading the poem along with the gestures and expressions that you gave to us. And now, as you said, let's understand its meaning paragraph by paragraph.
Yes. So, I will now tell you the story once again. So, here I would like to first of all take you to this world. You can see in the chapter also you have seen the, now Gopi is having that magic brush, and then she has made khichdi and lots of khichdi for all the villagers.
Yes.
So, she must be feasting on it, and at the end she also feasts on sweets and tea and everything. So, this is how she makes use of the magic brush, not just for herself but also for all the needy people.
Yeah.
So, now let us start with the story.
Sure.
So, the poem goes like, go and gather wild beans, Gopi, go and fetch some rice, go and pluck the mangoes and bring home something nice. Gopi sits beneath the banyan, a twig is in her hand, she sits there drawing pictures in the sand. So as you see, the instructions are given to Gopi because she has to go and gather wild beans and rice and mangoes and some good stuff for her home. And you can see in the picture as well, she is using a twig. You can see a twig in my hand as well. So she was drawing something in the sand. So when the picture was in the sand, so she was drawing it with the help of a twig. Okay, now let's see what happens.
Yes.
The winds blow by and sweeps away the pictures in the sand, but on a stone there sits a man, a brush is in his hand. He looks around, he calls to Gopi, come here, he whispers, hush, we must not tell the village know about this magic brush. He slips the brush into her hand and tells her to be sure, paint not for the wealthy ones but only for the poor. So we can see in the picture as expected, because she was drawing in the sand. So when the wind was blowing, so it swept away the drawing. So the old man is here having a brush in his hand. So he gives that brush to Gopi, and at the same time he also whispered that she must not let villagers know about this brush. So we must not let the village know about this magic brush. And at the same time he also tells her that you should use it for the poor, not for the wealthy ones. Okay, you should use it when there's someone is needy, somebody actually needs the help of this brush, so that it is not misused.
Yes, it's a magical brush and you must use your powers wisely.
Yes, and also let us know what will you do if you get this magic brush.
Comment now.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you gather wild beans, Gopi? Did you fetch some rice? Did you pluck the mangoes and bring home something nice? No beans, no rice, no mangoes. Gopi grins and runs inside. She paints a bowl of khichdi and waits until the paint has dried. So now, as she was supposed to go and gather wild beans and mangoes and all the good stuff and rice, everything, so what was she expecting? That maybe she has brought something for the house. But what is her answer? That no beans, no rice, no mangoes, and she's grinning. It's like broad smile and showing your teeth that she's grinning. There is a reason behind it. After all, she has that magic brush.
Yes.
So she just runs inside and paints a bowl of khichdi and waits until the paint has dried. What would have happened after the paint has dried? Can you tell, Harpreet?
Magically, the thing will appear. The khichdi will appear.
Oh yes, because so students, Harpreet is now representing you. You also tell me what would have happened when the paint had dried. Yes, so let's see what happened.
Okay.
The bowl is full of khichdi. Yes, the bowl is full of khichdi, Gopi. Into the house the villagers streamed. The young and old all wished to see the magic brush of dreams. So when we have the magic brush, so the bowl is full of khichdi and everybody streamed in the house from the village, because what? Because they want to see this magic brush of dreams. She paints a muffler for a farmer. Now listen carefully, students. What is she doing with the magic brush? That she paints a muffler for a farmer, a plough for another man, a shawl for a grandmother, and for a girl a fan. So how kindly she is using it for needs of other people.
Yeah.
Yes. And soon the news spread far and wide through forest, fields and plains, until the zamidar himself hears of this magic gains. Now what will happen? Because now this has reached the ears of zamidar. What do you think? What would have happened next?
I think he'll try to snatch the brush.
Oh my God. So now what will happen? Let's see. I order you to paint for me a fortress tall and grand. Paint treasures, jewels and riches rare, enough to rule this land. So as you remember, Harpreet also said she will be painting gold coins.
Yeah.
Yes. So similarly, he also wants to paint treasures and jewels and riches which are rare enough to rule this land. So this is the order she got from the zamidar.
But zamidar is already so rich. Why so greedy?
Yes, maybe because this answer itself, he is greedy.
Oh.
That's why he is not satisfied with that much. So he wants more. And now he has heard of this magic brush. So why not use it for own benefit? Because he is not thinking about helping the needy
and
as
the welfare.
Gopi is thinking about.
Yes.
Gopi bows and shakes her head. My lord, I can't comply. I swore to use this magic brush to help the needy by. Now Gopi is, actually sticking to her words because she has swore to use this brush only for the needy.
Yes.
So she has to accept this. Sorry, my lord, I can't comply. I can't obey this thing, and I can't draw all these things for you because earlier you remember what old men said. You should use this for the poor and not for the wealthy ones.
Yes.
The zamindar roars and stamps his foot. He bellows to his men. He shouts to his men, in a loud voice. He said, seize the brush and seize the girl, throw her in the pen. So you should just seize the brush. You just take the brush and take this girl also and throw her in the pen. Here, throw her in the pen means to imprison her. Okay?
Oh.
Yes, so you have to imprison her. So now what happened? Now Gopi is imprisoned.
She's scared.
Yes.
And the zamindar is so cruel.
Yes, oh my God. So now what happens?
Let's see.
Now Gopi waits inside the cell because she is imprisoned, so she is waiting upon a cold mud floor until the zamindar returns and shouts through the door. He holds the brush, he thunders loud. Paint my fortress tall, paint gold and rubies, emeralds bright, and you shall leave this hall. So now zamindar has returned and now he is shouting that you should paint my fortress. Fortress is a building which protects you. It's a large building. So what he's expecting is the building so that he gets protected, and paint gold for me, rubies and emeralds and everything, and then you can leave this hall.
So he will grant her freedom once she paints the rubies and the fortress that he desires.
Because he thinks he has the power and he's using that power.
Well, that's not good.
Yes, now let's see how Gopi escapes.
What happens next?
That night, the zamindar lies in bed, dreaming of his gold, while Gopi paints a winding road, a horse both strong and bold. So now zamindar is lying in bed, dreaming of his palace and gold and everything because he thinks Gopi will have to obey him. So Gopi paints a winding road. So instead of painting the golds and rubies, winding road is having a lot of curves. So she paints a winding road and also a horse that is strong and bold.
Wow.
The road leads out of prison gates. The horse she swiftly urges. Gopi leaps on and gallops fast through fields and many villages. So she gallops, she moves really fast through all the fields and villages because she has to escape that prison.
And Gopi is so intelligent, she is so clever and thought out of the box. She actually used the magic brush for her own sake. And that was much needed at the time.
Yes, exactly. And she is so, determined that in her vision also that she has to help or she could have just, obeyed him and okay, let it go and something. Maybe, do you think magic brush would have worked if she actually tried to?
I don't think so because it was magic brush. It knew what it had to do.
Maybe it can catch your intention as well. Let's see what happens next.
Okay.
It's Gopi, she's back again, say the villagers merry and kind. So you can see in the tone also, you can feel the happiness is in the air. The celebration is once again after all this suspense and threats that Gopi is back again. Say the villagers merry and kind, but Gopi keeps on painting still with the zamindar's men following behind. So she has not stopped here. She's still painting. But what is she painting now? Is she painting some gold or something else?
Well,
let's see what
she's painting to get rid of those
zamindar men. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. She paints a mighty river wide. It currents fast and deep. The zamindar and all his men stop short and cannot leave. So, how witty she is.
Yes,
she has painted a mighty river which is wide and the current is fast and deep, which cannot be crossed by zamindar and his men. Now should I paint a beast? Now is the warning. Now should I paint a beast to leap and chase you through? Stop this chase or it will feast on you and you and you. So, the part you can see that now she is threatening to paint a beast. If you don't stop here itself, now Gopi is going to paint a beast.
Gopi is courageous, she is bold and worldly wise and still kind. She is giving them a warning.
Yes.
Wow. So what happens then?
Yes, so now let's see what happens. The zamindar cries, no more, I will go away. He turns and flees his men behind, dare not choose to stay. So now Zamindar is crying, no, no, no more, I will leave, I will go away. So, okay, so he has also now understood that Gopi is not going to obey or do what he wants. So he turns and flees, and his men also, they dare not choose to stay because they were also afraid of what she might do with that magic brush to harm them also. Earlier it was not Gopi's intention
Yes.
although. Now Gopi paints for the village folk a feast of sweets and tea, a courtyard ride, a band to play, and songs of victory. So now the celebration is again in the air, and Gopi is painting for the village folk. You can see in the picture that she is lovely painting the laddus and all that sweets and tea
Yes.
for the village folk, courtyard and band to play, and all the songs of victory. So this was a beautiful story conveyed through this poem, through the verse to us. So I hope you like the poem, and everything, all the credit goes to this magic brush. You can
Wow.
see, you can also draw such a brush for yourself, which will help you. Maybe you never know, you can also try. You can just imagine if it helps, then also let us know what we actually want to happen with this magic brush in this new year itself.
They will certainly try. It's 1st of January and you never know when magic brush will grant you your wish. So don't stop painting, paint, and let us know what you desire for. It was such a lovely poem, and you know what's the best lesson I've got from this? From
Yes.
Gopi rather, that with great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly, so very well said. So now I also want to bring the attention of all the students towards the rhyming scheme of this poem.
Okay.
So I've already told you about the narrative and ballad
Yes.
aspect. So now you can see, if you read this poem, just get back to the first. So, go and gather wild beans, Gopi, go and fetch some rice, go and pluck the mangoes and bring home something nice. So, Gopi and rice, then mangoes, nice. So, here Gopi A, rice is B, then C mangoes and B rice. So, rice is rhyming with nice.
Yes.
So, you can see the rhyming scheme is A, B, C, B.
Okay.
So this is the rhyming scheme which is mostly followed in the poem. You can also highlight and write the rhyming scheme in your notebook. So this was the rhyming scheme of this poem.
A, B, C, D.
Yeah, A, B, C, B.
A, B, C, B.
Yes.
Okay.
A, B, C, B, because rice is rhyming with
Nice.
nice.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Let me
then,
take you to some questions.
yes, why not? Because you have shown us the rhyming scheme. So if we can do some exercises related to that.
Yes. So now, first of all, as you have immersed yourself, you have also understood the poem. So fill in the blanks by choosing the correct answer from the box. Okay. So the box is given triumphant and celebratory, tension and suspense, playful and innocent. So now, Harpreet, you will be representing students.
Sure.
And you have to give me the answers.
I will try, but I can go wrong because I'm a student.
Okay, no worries. I will correct you
Sure,
if it
sure.
is required. But
Okay.
I'm sure you will answer it correctly. You're a good student.
Okay.
And I'm sure about the students as well. You can also write your
Absolutely.
answers.
We're waiting for your responses on our YouTube handles, chat box. Okay.
The tone of the poem shifts throughout, reflecting the different moods of the story. Initially, the tone is, what is the tone initially?
I think playful and innocent.
Is it playful and innocent? Because you remember Gopi, what was she doing? She was, with the help of twigs, she was drawing and she was, gathering some mangoes and everything.
Yeah.
So, it was playful and
Innocent.
So, that's the correct answer.
Thank you.
As Gopi uses her imagination to draw in the sand. And later, when the Zamindar enters the story, the tone shifts to
Tension
one of-
and suspense.
yes, with the Zamindar only you can know that now the tone has
Yes.
shifted to tension and suspense. Now, what will happen? He has got to know about his magic brush.
What will happen to Gopi? What about the magic brush?
Yes, so that tension and suspense was there in the tone. In the final part of the poem, the tone becomes
Triumphant and celebratory.
Yes, it is obvious that it becomes triumphant and celebratory because of Gopi's wit and how she uses that magical brush.
Yeah.
So, as Gopi escapes and the Zamindar is defeated and the villagers rejoice. Are
That's
you ready
right.
for the another question?
Yes, we still have very little time, so we can take the question quickly. All right.
Okay, so this one is very simple. So, I have already because mentioned, fill in the blanks by choosing the correct option from within the bracket. So,
Okay.
you have 3 options. The poem mostly follows a simple rhyme scheme, which is a rhyming scheme which adds a rhythmic flow.
Yes.
Is it ABCB, ABBA or ABAB?
I remember rice is rhyming with nice, so it is A-B-A-B? No, it's A-B-C-B. Yes,
it
because
is.
Gopi was not rhyming
so
with
I'll give you
mangoes.
one more chance. So, yes, it is
ABCB.
ABCB.
Yes.
Okay, because you can see rice was rhyming with nice.
Yes.
The poem belongs to the dash poetry genre, which tells a story through a verse. So, we have just, got to know a story through the verse. So, which is it? Is it descriptive, narrative, ballad or freestyle?
Well, you can answer that quickly. I think it's kind of a narrative.
So, it's a narrative or ballad because here the story is told as per the verse.
Well, that's lovely. We learned about the rhyming scheme. We learned this beautiful poem, and of course, we learned the most important lesson. Use your wisdom, use your power with responsibility, and then you can see wonders happening to you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your
Thank
time
you,
and
ma'am.
contribution to the session. I'm going to take this magic brush.
Sure, you can.
I'm going to paint my dreams there, and I would also like to thank our ISL interpreter, Miss Ambu Sakshi, for her contribution. Thank you so much, Ambu Sakshi. Also, thanking my entire team for making this session a success. Now, let's see what's magic is happening next. Well, here's the program schedule, and there is the next program coming your way. So, you can have this next session, which is going to be a wonderful session of science, and this time it's going to be an amazing topic. You can definitely participate, and with this, it's a wrap. This is me, Harpreet Kaur, signing off. Take care, and I'll join you soon. Namaskar.